A car doesn't usually make grown men cry, but this weekend at Richmond, one will. Childress Racing just revealed a paint scheme that stops the entire garage in its tracks. And it's built around a single gesture that meant more to NASCAR fans than any trophy ever could. This is the story of how a bow, Kyle Busch's bow, is about to roll onto a NASCAR oval one more time. Here's exactly what's happening. Childress Racing is unveiling a tribute scheme on the number 33 car this weekend at Richmond Raceway. The car is driven by Austin Hill, the man handed the near impossible job of stepping into that seat after Kyle Busch's sudden passing earlier this year. The design centers on Busch's signature bow celebration, the move he pulled out after big wins for years. It also carries his personal signature, plus a tribute to the Bundle of Joy Fund, the charity he and his wife Samantha built to support couples dealing with infertility. That's the surface level story. Now let's talk about why it actually matters. To understand why this paint scheme hits so hard, you have to understand the timeline. Busch had just won a Truck Series race, win number 69 in that series alone. Days later, he was set to compete in one of the crown jewel events on the entire calendar, the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte. He never got the chance. His family later confirmed that severe pneumonia progressed into sepsis, triggering complications that moved with brutal speed. 1 week he's in victory lane. The next, the sport is in mourning. Since then, tributes haven't stopped. Drivers across multiple series have thrown up that same bow after their own wins, not as a copy but as a salute. It's become a shared language across pit road, a way for competitors who spent years racing against him to say his name without saying a word. Now think about what this means inside the RCR shop. Austin Hill isn't just driving a car that used to belong to someone else. He's driving a car that belonged to a legend for a team still processing real loss in front of a fan base watching his every move for a signal of respect. That's not a normal rookie-adjacent pressure situation. That's an entirely different kind of weight. Let's break down what RCR is actually doing here, because this isn't just a sentimental paint job. It's a calculated, emotionally intelligent move. First, the strategic layer. NASCAR is a sport built on connection. Fans don't just follow race results, they follow storylines, personalities, and loyalty. By putting Busch's bow on the hood, RCR is doing something smart. They're keeping his presence alive inside a fan base that might otherwise drift away during a rebuilding, emotional stretch for the team. Grief, when handled the right way, can actually deepen fan attachment instead of eroding it. Second, the risk. This is a delicate needle to thread. Lean too hard into tribute culture, and it can start to feel like the team is leaning on a legacy instead of building a new one. Every time that car hits the track and invites comparison, fair or not, between what Hill is doing now and what Busch built over 2 decades. That's an enormous shadow for any driver to race under race after race. Third, what this signals about locker room culture in racing right now. NASCAR teams are increasingly aware that authenticity sells. A generic decal or a small sticker would have felt hollow. Going all in on the bow, the signature, and the charity tells a story that this isn't a marketing checkbox. It's personal, and it's coming from people who actually knew him. Is this smart or risky? Both, honestly. It's smart because it turns raw emotion into a storyline the entire sport can rally around. It's risky because every second that car is on screen, Hill is racing next to a memory the whole country is watching. The pressure to perform well in that car just went up, whether RCR intended that or not. Early social reaction has been overwhelmingly positive. Fans are calling it one of the most meaningful schemes to hit the track in years, but expect a split in tone once the race actually starts. If Hill runs well, the story writes itself, a driver honoring a legend by performing under pressure, turning tribute into inspiration. If the run struggles, some fans and media will inevitably frame it as a symbol of just how much is missing from that team right now. That's the uncomfortable truth about grief on live television. The emotional stakes get attached to a performance nobody can fully control. Best case, Hill delivers a strong run at Richmond, the car becomes a fan favorite moment of the season, and RCR turns this tribute into a recurring theme, maybe even bringing variations of the scheme back for future milestone races. It becomes part of the sport's healing process. Worst case, the emotional spotlight becomes a distraction rather than a motivator. Hill feels the pressure of driving Kyle's car more than his own car, results stay inconsistent, and the tribute becomes something fans look back on more fondly than they look at the season itself. Either way, this weekend at Richmond is bigger than one race. So here's the real question. Is this tribute the right way to honor Kyle Busch? Or does it put unfair pressure on Austin Hill to live up to a legacy that was never his to inherit? Drop your take in the comments. Tell me if you think RCR got this exactly right or if they should have let Hill build his own identity in that car from day one. If you want more honest, no fluff breakdowns like this one, make sure you're subscribed to SPORTSWIRE USA because we're not done talking about this story.